good evening and welcome to the Apex Endurance Championship with a little bit of pre-season action for you this evening at the Monza circuit in Italy, of course, as we just have a few of the cars out on track. Qualifying is yet to begin. We'll be beginning very shortly. I think we're just trying to get a couple of last minute cars into the session, so just some extra practice laps going on for the drivers out there. We've got LMP1 and GT3, and I think we will be being joined in commentary. We'll wait and see. Not entirely sure on that front. We'll press on as we are. So yeah, all up and running. Feel free to get your comments in as we watch. Who are we watching here? ILRT Jamie, who's currently 6/10 clear of the next man in LMP1, which is Apex Whiteout, and then Speedy Racer or Speed Y Racer. Not sure which way that'll be. He's got a little bit of traffic actually, and yeah, so we've got one more driver still to come. But this is an interesting feature of this league, of course, multi-class racing. So we get the LMP1 machinery going past the GT cars, and I believe that's Wesley being overtaken there then down into the Parabolica. So just getting a bit of practice ready, of course, for qualifying and the race. Track position is, of course, going to be vital in qualifying for these LMP1 boys to get some clean space. And just make sure that we've got no issues notification-wise. No. So at the moment we've got yellow flags down at turn 1 actually. So we'll try and see what's gone on there. We've got a car off to the left. Not entirely sure who that is. I don't know, maybe backed out. And we've got two rather similar looking cars. I don't know if they're teammates, are they? Yeah. Bit of formation flying here. Oh, off into the barrier. So yeah, hopefully not repeating that later on. As we'll check out some GT3 machinery as the qualifying session is about to begin then. So we'll be underway very shortly for some quick laps. As we just load in the 20-minute qualifying for the drivers to go out and set their best laps, and we've already got a stream of cars coming out of the pits, as I think they'll have to, I'm not entirely sure of the fuel settings, but they'll have to go and burn some fuel off as we get a couple of them already jockeying for position. And that's a bit of a strange one. I'm not entirely sure what's happened to the white line at the end of the pit lane. That might be something to keep an eye on. And ILRT Jamie then, we'll go on board with him as he accelerates the GT cars, of course, with the hybrid power of the, what is he in? Is he in the Porsche? No, he's in the Toyota. So we've got a Toyota out there then, and I think we've definitely got an Audi. Yeah, Apex Whiteout is the Audi runner, and I'm not entirely sure on the remaining entries. We'll pick them up as we go along. We've got GR Broomer then in the Nissan GTR, running a little bit wide on his outlet. And who else have we got? We've got Lewis in, what is that, in a, I cannot make out what car that is. It's the Aston, I think, yeah. And we've got Blue Fox in the Lexus. That's a car I've driven myself in previous leagues. He's followed by Short, who is the Toyota Supra on this occasion, and we've already, I think, got some cars coming down the back straight. Trying to find out who that is. I think that's Jamie, is it? Yeah, coming down into the Parabolica. Go on board with him as he tries to get the best run out then, going as wide as possible, slow on the entry to get a brilliant run out down the main straight. And it's a little late in the evening here, so shadows starting to form, sun going down in typical Endurance League fashion. As he comes across the line then, picking the braking point for turn 1. Ever crucial here at Monza, and he's getting it all slowed down nice and neat at the moment. A little bit of curb, all neat and tidy. Full fuel, of course, at the moment, so he's got a little bit of work to do to get rid of some of that extra weight. And he's through the Curva Grande into Sector 1. with a 30.724, so we'll see later on how quick that will be for the first sector time. We've got quite a bunch of cars actually coming through Curva Grande. They're all GT3 cars, so they should be able to complete the lap without interfering with each other too much. And SMJT and RLH Short, who are teammates in the RLH league. I'm not entirely sure if they're teammates in this league. They're definitely running two different cars, so I'm not sure how that happens. I don't know whether we've got a teams championship or not. Of course, a little bit of contact between them already, so yeah, no love lost there between the two teammates. And ILRT Jamie is coming down again already into the Parabolica, so that's a lap almost complete. As we will go on the nose of the car then, coming out of the Parabolica. It's going to be somewhere in the 130s. What is it going to be? Across the line, it's a 33.1 to put him, I believe, fastest at the moment. It's showing Apex White out for some reason. Still in the pits, so I'm not entirely sure what the idea is with these guys still in the pit lane. We've seen this before, haven't we? Risky Racer is stuck in the pit lane, so hopefully we can get that issue sorted out. We've got a stream of times coming in as all these GT3 cars. Yep, pit glitch shall out, not allowing drivers out, so yeah, that's unfortunately. Oh, and we've got contact there, as some slowing down and some very much not, and we've got GR Broomer straight across the chicane. What on earth happened there? He's got rear damage, so was he punted from behind, I wonder? SMJT recovering as well, and yeah, we really need to get guys back into the pits so we can reorganise. Wesley comes across the line, but it's not going to count. So yeah, an unfortunate start, but we've seen this problem time and time again. It doesn't seem to be an easy fix. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. Do I have to back it out? Yeah, we're back to the pits and hopefully get back to you very shortly. Okay, so I think we're going to try and keep the lobby up and running, as I just get notifications, so apologies for that. Blocking the screen. I think we're going to try and keep this lobby up and running, and try and get everyone back in. So at the moment we're unfortunately back to a practice session and a little bit of extra mileage for some of the guys, but yeah, it's a real shame that we seem to be having this trouble again. It's not a new issue. Very frustrating, I'm sure, for those who can't get out on track. As we say, no easy fix, so it's just a bit of trial and error really, to try and get everyone out of the pits as we get SMJT then coming down into turn 1, putting the power down nice and cleanly, up through the gears, through Curva Grande, running a wide line, and he's back to the pits. So yeah, okay, so we are back up and running with qualifying again then by the looks of things. Right, so hopefully we can get everyone out of the pits. Oh, we've got people not entered now. Yeah, this is a shame, but it's not the smoothest of starts. As we've said, it's a very frustrating issue. Unfortunately, we've ended up without SMJT in the session. So hopefully third time lucky then, as we all back out to the pits once more. Qualifying will be for a second time cancelled, and we'll try again. So as you can see on the screen, we're going to shorten quality to 15 minutes then, so that means less fuel burn time of course, so just change the picture slightly. So this is I don't know now. Got people leaving. Okay, this is the third attempt, and right, I see. So we've changed to 2030 and then back to 1930 in an attempt to try and reset the lobby, as everyone will now get entered, and we will try for the third time to hopefully trick GT into actually working, which would be nice. Unfortunately, we're now running quite a few minutes late already, so yeah, we'll get into the session then. We've got quite a few out already. We'll try and see if everyone can get out of the pits, hopefully. That doesn't look good. No, we've got Risky Racer again. Not sure if that's Sully in the chat, but yeah, that ball really does like him, so he says. GT, what can you say? Oh, we've got an 11.1 second penalty for Speedy Racer, so I'm not entirely sure where he's been, and ILRT Jamie is off in the gravel. Okay, so you can see the message from the admins on screen then, so yeah, there's your update. We'll try again in a few moments. Right, okay, so I believe this is back in qualifying then, and we get everyone coming out on track again, and hopefully no issues. Remains to be seen. And have we got? We've got Risky Racer then. No. It's not looking good. We'll go back to the front then. Try and crack on with things best we can. We've got Wesley coming down into the Roger chicane on his outlap, and we've got some LMP1 machinery behind him, so they can negotiate him cleanly, just about. Jamie on the outside there, through the first of the Lesmos, and we'll follow them on board. So I believe, are these two teammates? Yeah, 91 and 94, I believe that is. So we've got ILRT Jamie following H Racing Green down to the Ascari chicane, and possibly playing a bit of a slipstream tow down the main straight. And as once again then we come to start the first qualifying laps, and he's backing off actually now to give himself some space, so we'll follow H Racing Green then, and we'll try and get some of the various team names and such as we go along. But, at the moment he's coming down the main straight in quite a nice looking baby blue and white livery, and he goes past the 100 metre board on the brakes, nice and clean. No point in giving it everything to the ragged edge at this point in qualifying, just getting the times in, getting the banker lap in, and getting that fuel down, of course, in what is a trimmed qualifying session. Just got on board with Jamie as he comes through the Curva Grande. And yeah, again, just after the 100 metre board, a little bit of sideways action over the curbs, and we can see up in front, H Racing Green's picked up a time penalty of some sort. Half a second by the looks of things, yeah. And Jamie running out onto the curb on the exit. So at the moment we've got two LMP1s out on track at the moment. The rest is mainly GT3 runners. And H Racing Green has got rid of that penalty as he's going around, so he should be able to complete this lap reasonably well. Comes through the parabolica, running it right out to the white line. That sausage curve on the exit, of course, which caused plenty of controversy. A 32.8 then for H Racing Green, and Jamie can't beat it. He's 10th and a bit slower in second place. Wesley is going to come through as he's through the parabolica now in the 99 Nissan, and he's going to come across the line, and we'll see the pace deficit relative to those LMP1s comes across the line with a 47.1, so 14.3 seconds slower. Broomer straight back into the pits for some reason as Short goes across the line, and we're getting time's thick and fast now. Can't keep up. So Kyle, Blue Fox and Shane walking across, so Wesley stayed the quickest of the GT3s, so Kyle slotted in behind him. SMJT, Blue Fox and I believe Short completed the lap, yes he did. And Apex Whiteout goes across the line. He's a tenth, almost 2 tenths off of ILRT Jamie as well. Just over 3 tenths quicker than your provisional poleman H Racing Green. And who can we find who's... Jamie looks like he's taking plenty of track through Ascari. Can he go any quicker on this lap? What have we got? We've got super softs on the car, pretty much brand new. Again, sorry, I'm not entirely sure of the tyre wear settings, but he's looking like going for another lap. Straight after the first, and with the fuel coming down, should be getting quicker as well. Taking the shortest run to the line, goes across the line, almost 3 tenths quicker than H Racing Green. So yeah, he has improved. And Apex Whiteout then, we'll go on board with him in the Audi. And I don't know if that's an audio glitch or he's backed off. It looks like he's backed off. Who else can we find? Wesley, who's rides a Speedy Racer, has gone through in 4th. He's 10 seconds off the pace of the lead LMP1 cars at the moment. Wesley's coming across the line. Can he extend his advantage at the top of the GT3 pack? He does by a tenth of a second, I believe, even quicker. 47.0 this time. What about SMJT? What can he manage? Short goes 6th at the minute on a 48.1. SMJT a 48.5. Blue Fox a 48.4 as well then, so very tight in that sort of mid pack of GT3. And then we've got Kyle burning fuel by the looks of things. Fair enough. And Lewis is a little bit off the pace so far in the Aston. And we've got Broomer as well then, as Risky Racer leaves the session. And is Broomer on a lap now? Looks as though he is. And you can see a beautiful Brazilian-inspired helmet livery there then, as he comes down into the Roger chicane just before 100 metres in the GT3. Plenty of curb. Through the first of the last modes, a little bit wide, running out onto the curb. You can see someone else has already been off there with the tyre tracks through the gravel as he again runs out onto the curb in the second Lesmo as Risky Racer comes back in then. So yeah, unfortunately he's had a few issues. Hopefully now he can get in and make the start of the race, albeit at the back of the field probably at this stage. Into Ascari then, Broomer comes as Wesley goes a little bit quicker again, a couple of tenths quicker still, 46.8. Broomer then coming down to the parabolica. Short now goes quicker on a 47.1, 47.9 for SMJT then. So the times are coming down as the fuel load burns off, and Broomer through the final corner, 66 Nissan. flashing through. Might get a little bit of a distant tow there as well, as Lewis sets at 150.9. Brimmer comes across with no time. That was an outline, brilliant. So we'll use that to keep an eye on what's happening in the LMP1s. Not a lot at the moment. H Racing Green's just gone to within 9,000ths. Look at that. Slower than ILRT Jamie, so that's as tight as you'd like it there. Apex Whiteout 6/10 adrift at the moment, but he's working on another lap as we speak. Speedy Racer as well, trying to bring that gap down. And Wesley's got a 2/10 advantage now over Shaw in the Supra. So a bit of a left field choice for Shaw then, but it's definitely quick if you can get it in the right window. Number 77, of course, the RLH boys seem to like those pairs of numbers. The 99, of course, the 66 for Brimmer, and the 77 for Shaw, also known as Valtteri Bottas. Coming through the final corner. See, I'm not sure if he's on a lap or not. He's coming into the pit. Sorte, yeah, it's almost impossible to tell whether they're just taking the shortest run to the line or coming into the pits. So Shane, SMJT, Shane, call him whatever, goes across the line again. And what's happening with Short? Then he's not decided what tyres he wants to go on yet, by the looks of things. As yeah, GT3 staying out of the way of Jamie coming through the Parabolica once again. Brimmer finally sets a time, then gets himself on the board with a 47.8. Jamie across the line. Does he go quicker? Yes, he does. 32.3. Speedy Race is getting himself in the right ballpark as well. Then he's brought it down to a 36.3, and he's got, who's he got behind him? I think that's Jamie behind him, isn't it? Yep, coming through turn 1. That's Short coming back out of the pits. Wesley's got a bit of a penalty as he follows, I believe that's SMJT through the two Lesmays. Yeah, a little bit wide. Wesley's going to get a nice slipstream down here, but a penalty 3/10 will cost him, of course. And he's going to go for the overtaking to Ascari. That's controversial. I'm saying nothing. Those who know know. Apex Whiteout goes across the line with a 32.9. Stays third, but gets a little bit closer. And who have we not seen out on track yet? If anyone. Oh, yeah, didn't mean to be doing that. Okay, we've got Lewis. Is he on a lap going out of the Parabolica? I'm not entirely sure why that's being asked in the Discord. Still. We'll just check something out. Give me a second. Not entirely sure on that one, but we'll crack on. And we missed that, unfortunately. H Racing Green has gone half a tenth quicker. Yeah, so ILRT Jamie has some work to do now then, and apologies, we've just got some questions going on. We'll crack on. Yeah, so ILRT Jamie's got work to do if he wants to get that pole position back. It definitely seems like we've got a fight on our hands for the outright race win between these two. And Speedy Racer now is down to just 2.8 seconds off them, so he's definitely building up the pace with lap after lap. Coming through again. Can he knock a little bit more off of it? Driving for the line. No, he can't. And LRT Jamie's in the pits then. Not be putting any fuel in, but getting a new set of tyres. Yeah, they've barely touched the tyres at the moment. With just 1 minute and 50 remaining actually. So, yeah, that's why Jamie's getting that set of tyres on for one last run. As Bruma goes P8, so he's just a quarter of a second off short at the moment. Kyle's gone up to P6, so your fastest GT runner at the moment remains Wesley, and I don't know if this is going to be his last lap or if he'll sneak another one, as Kyle goes ahead of him actually, so Kyle will miss that one. He goes across the line with a 46.6. What can Wesley do to respond then? He's got to find 2 and a bit tenths somewhere, and I'm not sure if he's doing it on this lap. We'll try and get the timing up. Where's Wesley? And I think that means he's green in sector 1. We'll see when he comes round. Yep, driving for the line. H Racing Green's in the pits, but I think he's going to be too late. He's only got 30 seconds remaining, so surely not going to get through again. Speedy Racer goes across the line at 34.9. Wesley then across the line. What's it going to be? And he does go 2 tenths clear of Kyle then with a what's that? A 46.4. So Wesley takes provisional pole for the GT3s, and here's Jamie on a lap. I think he's just started one. So this is the final lap. Brand new super soft tyres. What's his fuel on? Just over half a tank. As Bruma now goes P7. So don't know if he quite got an extra lap in, or if he's done. I think he's done. That's Bruma's qualifying over. He'll start no higher than 7th. H Racing Green's got a penalty, so I don't think he'll be going any quicker. What can ILRT Jamie manage as he comes through the Roger chicane? He's got, I think that's Wesley ahead of him, and I don't know if Wesley's on a lap. He went quicker last time through. He's getting out of the way very much through the Lesmes, so even if he was on a lap, he's not anymore. Still on board with ILRT Jamie then, as he comes down under the old banking towards the Ascari chicane. Just past the 100 metre board, he'll throw it in 3rd gear, running out onto the curbs. Up to 4th, 5th and then 6th gear in this Toyota. What can he manage? He needs to find, well, just under a tenth of a second really. As Speedy Racer goes across the line at 33.8, so he's got himself very much in the decent range. Nice respectable lap there, but Jamie comes across the line. What's it going to be? Is it pole? No! H Racing Green keeps pole by 17 thousandths of a second. Could you have it any closer? Apex Whiteout's finished his lap. Speedy Racer we've seen, and Wesley, he's been off track, so he'll go no quicker. Kyle, Bruma, they've both finished. Short's finished. SMJT comes across the line with a penalty, stays 9th. Blue Fox is 10th, and I think that's all your runners. We've got Lewis in 11th as well, and I think that rounds out your grid. Yeah, and as we said, couldn't be much closer, but it's also very tight for the GT3 honours. That is going to be some race, and we've got 90 minutes of it, so plenty of time to enjoy it. And we'll begin with a rolling start. And as the drivers flash their lights, impatiently waiting to get going then. And we are underway. We'll do a quick check to see if we're all up and running. We are, and we'll go back to the front, because any minute now, when H Racing Green gets to the line, we will be underway here at Monza for pre-season. And yeah, everyone seems to have got away. So we've got the 4 LMP1 cars blasting away already down to turn 1. H Racing Green ahead of LRT Jamie. Is he going to make the move? He's pulling out, but Apex Whiteout is going to go for the outside, and oh, that's going to be very close. I don't know if Speedy Racer managed to get it stopped. He did, and we'll go back to the GT3 guys, see if they can all make it through turn 1 cleanly as well. We've got Wesley leading Kyle, Brumer short, and I think that's Blue Fox, yeah, SMJT, and then Lewis as well. We'll go back to H Racing Green in the LMP1s as they come through the Roger chicane. Apex Whiteout's got clear of Jamie as he tries to squeeze him into the first of the Lesmos. So that's not what Jamie Willer wanted. He needs clear air to try and keep up with H Racing Green, who's already 1.5 seconds up the front. So yeah, great start for H Racing Green, and he is making the most of it. Can ILRT Jamie do anything? We're on board as he comes through the Ascari chicane, round the outside. Can he get it stopped? Just about. So nearly contact between the pair, and ILRT Jamie's through the gravel. He should get away with it. There's a tarmac runoff there. Speedy Racer goes through into P2 now. What a move that was to put himself up to yeah, second place outright, second in LMP1 of course. But ILRT Jamie, having been looking down the inside for P1 into the first corner, a lap later finds himself at the back of the LMP1 grid. What can he manage? As Speedy Racers ended up with a penalty. I'm not sure if that was through Ascari for trying to avoid these two getting a little bit close. Apex Whiteout on the outside. Can Speedy Racer get it stopped? Just about. He goes because of his penalty. A little bit sideways on the exit, but we're all through. And we'll try and see what's happening back here. And we're looking back from Wesley then at LK Kyle. Wesley bouncing off the limiter there. That's not what he'll want, because that's going to give Kyle a run at him through the Curva Grande. Brumer as well, you can see under pressure from short. It's all getting rather close there, but at the moment Kyle is going to look for a move up the inside. Can he get it through cleanly? Yes he can. Wesley's going to try the switchback on the exit. Brumer stayed ahead of short as well. So, but look at the gap already that H Racing Green's got. He's gone up the front. ILRT Jamie has a lot of work to do now. He's 5.5 seconds behind, and we're not even at the end of lap 2. So Jamie really needs to try and break the toe of Apex Whiteout and Speedy Racer, because it's costing him a lot of time. So yeah, they're back in the order they started in, but quite spread out. H Racing Green looking at a pretty lonely start to the race. And we'll come across the line then with Apex Whiteout. And we'll look forward. That'd be a start, wouldn't it? Why can we not do that? No idea. We'll go back to the TV camera as he's trying to go around the outside. Couldn't quite make anything stick as Wesley is trying again to get on the back of LK Kyle, and we'll try again to look forward. There we go, and he's already passed. Well, that went well. So yeah, Wesley using the toe to get through, but Kyle's going to nip back in for a little bit himself and might be able to get the move done again on the brakes. Nice close racing, clean racing so far. Wesley will have the inside for turn 2, but he'll compromise his exit. Brumer's thinking of having a look as well in the other GTR. And Short's not far behind either, so yeah, it's quite a train going here. What's happened to SMJT? Has he had a bit of off-track action somewhere? Looks like he possibly has. Wesley again, and look at Brumer now, 3 wide into the Roger chicane. Brumer up the inside, a little bit of contact. No team kindness between those two, and all of a sudden Wesley finds himself at the back of that pack in P8. LK Kyle trying to defend from RLH Short as well. So Brumer up into P5 with a double move there. Plenty of action in the early stages. We're only on lap 3. We've got an hour and 25 minutes of this yet. This is unbelievable racing. As H Racing Green has got a penalty of 1 second, and he's only 2.9 ahead of ILRT Jamie now, who's been making definite progress then. He's now cleared Apex Whiteout by 1.6 seconds. And Jamie's getting his foot down. Yeah, he's really got to push to try and make that gap back up to his teammate. Into the Roger chicane then. You can see, of course, the penalty that H Racing Green has got ahead of him. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that. Excuse me, on that gap as it comes down. But Kyle is now onto the back of Bruma. Can he make the move? Down into turn 1, he's going to have to go around the outside, a long way round, a little bit of contact as they get towards the apex of 2, and Short's going to take advantage of that again, switching places. And Wesley is as well going to have a look back at his teammate, a little bit of payback for last lap around here. He's getting rid of a penalty himself as well, but he's on the road, on the ideal line as they come to the Roger chicane. He's got the inside line, he's going to have a look at Short as well. It's all getting pretty tight, but he's back up into P7, and once again a lap later then Bruma finds himself at the back of this pack. Great racing in stages, and we've not even got to any strategy yet, but Short's run wide, and that's put Wesley on the inside of him. He'll have to leave space, but he's just about managed to, and that might have compromised Wesley enough to give Bruma a run back at him. They're swapping places every corner, these teammates here in the two Nissans. Wesley and Bruma side by side into Ascari. Where have I heard that before? Bruma just about, I think, managed to get through there. Yep, but Wesley's not done yet. We'll go on board. And just trying to look out on the map then. So we've got the LMP1's coming out of the second Lesmo now then. So it won't be too long before we're seeing some lap traffic, as Bruma is getting very close to the back of Short. Kyle's just broken away slightly from this pack. Bruma pulling out of the tow, leaves Wesley with all of the tow from Short. This is going to get pretty close into turn 1. Bruma hard on the brakes on the inside. Wesley looking to try and take advantage of any coming together, but no, Bruma takes P6. Short again running wide, kicking up the gravel. That's not going to help him through the Curva Grande and down to the second chicane. It's going to leave him vulnerable to an attack from Wesley, and we've seen that pulled off already today. Oh, and he's gone defensive. Wesley can't quite make it through there. Pulls back onto the racing line. Short very late on the brakes, taking a lot of curb, and leaves Wesley standing really. Short now right back onto the tail end of Bruma as we ride on board the roof of the Supra, a little bit wide again through the first Lesmo. So Short definitely on the ragged edge, but he's trying to keep up with the two GT3s ahead of him, running third in GT3 at the moment. What's happened up the front? H Racing Green's still got a little bit of a penalty. It's 2.7 seconds, so it's reasonably stable now. I wonder if H Racing Green made a mistake earlier, which is why it came down from 5 to just under 3 seconds at one point. Speedy Racer, a little bit of a penalty for him as well, but he's now 10 seconds off the lead after that frantic start, grabbing a little bit of grass on the entry, and fortunately for him, goes off and spins trying to recover to the track, so that's going to cost him a lot of time. So that's on the exit of the two Lesmos, yeah. So he'll get back up and running without any damage, but it's cost him, as we said, a lot of time. Maybe a bit of tyres as well. Apex Whiteout is in quite a lonely third place, as they're now on the same straight as these GT3s. So Lewis has already been overtaken by H Racing Green, so that's the first move we've seen, as ILRT Jamie comes through as well. And Blue Foxen has dropped to 10th, so Shane's recovered back up to P9. Blue flags are being awarded. Not sure how relevant that is, because they're obviously in a different class. I think the LMP1s have to work their way through as if they were racing. And yeah, RLH RLH Wesley's just dropped off the back a little bit. He's dropped to a second behind Short, who looks the most likely to make any sort of move at the moment. As we go on board, Kyle, obviously without any tow at the moment, is punching a hole for all those cars behind him. And we'll just go on board with Wesley as we can try and see if we've got any prototype machinery coming up behind us. We have, just entering the Ascari as we come out of it. So it's calmed down just a little bit. I'll take this opportunity to grab a quick drink as Bruma actually is looking at the inside. Did Kyle give him that place to get a bit of slipstream for a while, or is there a mistake? I'm not sure. As Kyle tries to nip back into the tow. Excuse me. Yep, he's moving from side to side, trying to find a way through on Bruma. And this is going to get very tight because we've got LMP1 machinery coming across 4 GT cars that are all fighting each other. This is going to be very interesting indeed. And RLH Wesley is the first one to see the traffic coming past him. Bruma Short as well, sticking to the inside of the Curva Grande, and now Kyle was on the outside, so they've got to. Oh, and look at Jamie working his way through. He's made a lot of time up there on his teammate H Racing Green. He needs to try and clear Kyle, because if he can, he's got a little bit of a penalty from that. But look at the gap now, it's 1.4 seconds. So the traffic did have quite an impact. And where is Apex Whiteout? He's coming onto the back of the train now. He might actually find them in quite a forgiving place. It's not the widest of straights down to Ascari, but if they're aware he's here, which they look to be as Wesley stays to the outside, he's going to get short, but he's going to come across Bruma, making a move on Kyle into Ascari, and that's going to cost him a bit of time following them. Yeah, acceleration is where these prototypes are so much quicker, and yeah, he makes it through. But up the front, what have we got? Just 1.7 seconds then, so we'll have to keep an eye on that gap. But at the moment, it's Kyle on Bruma, which is looking to be the closest battle on the track. These dust conditions making it a little bit tricky on the exit of Parabolica for some of the drivers. As Kyle, once again, we've seen this for a few laps now, Kyle lining up Bruma and Wesley on Short as well. Yet to see any pit stops, I believe. We are, what, 13 minutes in. And as Kyle is racing Bruma then and takes 5th place. So once again, jockeying for position. Kyle takes P1 in the GT class. Bruma trying to get back on the inside, but Kyle's got it covered. Bruma's having to go the long way round. He'll go deep on the brakes to try and make the move stick. Can't do anything this time around, and Short is once again on the back of him, as is Wesley. These 4 inseparable, it seems. And speaking of which, Jamie is now on the back of H Racing Green. For the first time in this race, we have a battle for the outright lead. And I'm not sure. They're both doing alright on tyres. How are they doing on fuel? H Racing Green has a little bit less fuel. So obviously he's been punching a hole for the entire race. Jamie's had a little bit of a tow. It may have also been a bit of lift and coast and maybe some smaller gear changes. But hang on a minute, we've got Apex Whiteout. He's closed in a lot of time. He's only 2.3 off the outright lead now. So this LMP1 race, all of a sudden, he's hotting up between the 3 of them. As Jamie gets very close, within half a second of H Racing Green on the brakes then. Going through the Curva Grande, he's getting a nice tow. I don't think he'll be close enough to make any sort of move into the Roger chicane. Not this time around. Plenty of curve for Jamie there, as Apex as well is making up a little bit of time still. He's now 2 seconds off Jamie, yeah. These two almost identical Toyotas then, once again, for the 10th time coming under the old banking down to the Ascari chicane. Jamie looks like if he can stay as close as he is now, he's definitely going to be within range down the main straight, maybe even before that. Parabolica, just about is possible to make a move through there if you get a good run, but he's not going to be close enough this time. I think he will be down the main straight though if he can stay within half a second or so through the final corner. He's running a much tighter line, gets in the slipstream. Just see the gap starting to come down. I don't think it's quite soon enough though. Closing up on the brakes as you'd expect, but no, nothing quite close enough yet, as Apex just starts to edge back again. So it's 2.5 now. He made a little bit of a mistake on that last lap. Speedy Racer is again in quite a lonely 4th place, so a long way to go for him, but equally plenty of time for things to go wrong for those up ahead. This is very much an endurance race, an hour and 30, so yeah, plenty of chance for things to go wrong. We've missed Short getting ahead of Bruma somewhere. Short now is the closest challenger to Kyle for P5, which is of course P1 in the GT class. And the number 77 is looking to get a run through the Curva Grande. Very close indeed. And the Supra is up the inside, gets it stopped, and he's up into P5 once again. Just a quick check on the leaders as they come round. They'll start lap 12, and this is much closer actually, isn't it? He's less than 2 tenths behind now as we come across the line. And he pulls out of the slipstream. I think that's going to be pretty much a move confirmed. Can H Racing Green break late enough? No, he's going to have to concede the position, and we have a lead swap for the first time in this race, but Jamie picks up a penalty, I think. I don't know if that was turn 1 or the second part of it, not entirely sure, but H Racing Green has got a run back on him into the Roger chicane. They're going to go side by side again, are they? Not quite. Jamie maintains the position. He's got to try and ease that penalty off without losing too much time. There's a cone in the middle of the track for some reason. Short and Kyle now. We start another lap. And they're into the pits. So this, the GT cars have already got through their fuel. And we see Bruma, Wesley and Short in, Kyle in as well. So yeah, they're all in. Is Shane? I don't think he is. No, Shane continues on. How much fuel's he got left? He's got a fair bit of fuel left, so I wonder if he's been consciously saving some and just trying to eke out the stop. Of course, if they've had to pit after 10 laps, we're only not quite 20 minutes into this session, they're going to have to make quite a few pit stops. If Shane can go a few laps longer every time, that's really going to benefit him. Blue Fox as well is yet to pit. When are we going to see any of the LMP1s in? They've still got quite a bit of fuel, just under half a tank left in Jamie's. So all of a sudden, strategy-wise, SMJT and Blue Fox are brought back into the game with GTs. The tyres are absolutely fine, and as you can see, barely any wear on the tyres, so it's basically as long as you can make the tyres last. And Wesley then, I think, must have put the least fuel of anyone in, because he's... oh no, Wesley didn't change the tyres, so that's how he's got out ahead of this group. Kyle did, Short did, and Bruma did, so Wesley's kept the same set of tyres. That's interesting. As Short tries to get up the inside of Bruma. A few penalties here, so a bit of awkward ghosting going on as well. Yeah, this is a very interesting difference in strategy between the GT boys. We've got some that haven't pitted yet, we've got some that have pitted but not changed tyres, we've got some that have pitted for fuel and tyres. Shane pits this time around, so only goes one lap further. Blue Fox is in as well. It'll be interesting to see if these change the tyres. Blue Fox is. Where's Shane going to filter out in all of this? I don't think they have changed the tyres on these, have they? Ah, they have, yeah. So the only man not to have changed tyres is, oh my word, what on earth's going on here? Bruma is off the track, we've got LMP1 cars coming through again, and we've got GT cars all over the place, and the result of that is we've got Wesley still leading in P5, Short, P6, Kyle all over the back of him as they try and get out of the way of Apex Whiteout. And Bruma was the casualty there then. He's now still 5 seconds clear of Shane, but he's cut adrift of that pack of 3, which is now effectively a pack of 2 because Wesley's a couple of seconds up the road. And H Racing Green's lost 3 seconds through the traffic this time to Jamie, who continues with the outright lead. Excuse me. Apex Whiteout is 8.5 seconds behind H Racing Green now then. As Wesley's 4 seconds clear of Kyle, I'm interested to see what sort of effect the older tyres have with Wesley. But whenever Kyle and Short are fighting each other, it's definitely going to help. Bruma's ended up behind Shane. Not entirely sure when or how that happened. Bruma's AI. He's typing. Bruma's not very happy, huh? Head down. And I wondered what was going on there, why we couldn't find Kyle. He was absolutely side by side with Short, and now he's sideways on the exit. And apologies there, but yeah, so see Short and Kyle still battling away. Kyle picks up a little bit of a penalty, and there's a little bit of contact there as well. Can Short stay on the track on the exit? Just about. They're going to go side by side again into the second Lesmo, and Short has to concede for now, but he's not giving up. That Supra's got plenty of punch down the back straight. As they come to Ascari, still side by side. Short does take P6 for now then. Jamie across the lines. 1.9 seconds then, so H Racing Green's closed in a little bit. And we're getting close to, yeah, we're under a quarter of a tank now, so we'll not be too far away from some LMP1 pit stops. Not entirely sure who that is who's joined the room, but yeah, okay, bit late. Speedy Race is still going around. Unfortunately for him, 51 seconds off the outright lead. Wesley now has a 7-second gap, so not changing the tyres has really worked out for him because it's got him out of the traffic as Short and Kyle continue to battle each other. And Bruma and Shane look like being the next battle emerging, as both try and get rid of little penalties. Excuse me. Blue Fox getting well out of shape in P10 through turn 1, and Lewis is currently down the back of the pack. He's 33 seconds off Blue Fox. So Short and Kyle is still the best action on the track and getting pretty close for a number of laps. Kyle still with that little bit of a penalty, ghosting into the Ascari chicane, trying to line up short. He's very close. If you can't make a move down into Parabolica, it's going to look like being into turn one. He makes short go defensive, and we've got Apex Whiteout into the pits for fuel then. So that's the first of the prototype pit stops, and yeah, new tyres, new super softs on that. And the two leaders continue on for another lap. Catching Lewis to put another lap on him. Yep, nice and simple this time through. H Racing Green should make his way past before Ascari as well. Lewis staying well out of the way. It's going to be tight though. Yep, lets him through, no problem. And are they going to be in this time around then? They've got 34 seconds to Apex Whiteout behind. Who I think Speedy Race has been in the pits by the looks of things. ILRT Jamie is going to continue on for another lap, as does H Racing Green then, so plenty of fuel left in the Toyotas. Wesley still 7.8 clear off short, who's still got Kyle for company. Broom has made it back up ahead of Shane somehow. Not entirely sure what's happened to Shane. He's usually one of the quickest GT3. Oh, Broom gets it sideways. Oh my word. Any damage? No. He'll get back on the track and continue, but he's lost that P8 once again. But yeah, not entirely sure what's happened to Shane's pace in the Mercedes. He can't seem to keep up with the likes of Wesley, Short and Carl. I think he did have a bit of an incident early on. He ended up down the back. Since then, he's been in no man's land really. Short and Carl once again, they seem to be joined at the hip so far throughout this first half an hour. Short takes the position again. Goes a little bit defensive. It's just about acceptable. It's a little bit of a late move, but he's kept that position for now. I'm just going to take a look at Wesley's tyres. They're not doing too bad. What are they? Yeah, seems all in good nick. 8.9, so he's actually extending the gap between himself and either Kyle or Short, who's very sideways. That was pretty interesting. And we'll try and see that again from on board with Short. So yeah, Kyle inside, Short grabbed a lot of that inside gear, very sideways, and just about got away with it. And I think we will go back live. Yeah, we're back live with Short still on the back of Kyle, who gets sideways himself now through the Ascari. As we settle in then to the last bit of the opening half an hour. Short up the inside, Kyle taking a little bit of grass, gets sideways. Can he keep it on the track? Just about. There's just about enough tarmac out there. And once again, it's almost like NASCAR watching these two, absolutely glued side by side every lap down the main straight. And have these been in yet? No. H Racing Green, I think, will be in this lap. He's running pretty low on fuel. ILRT Jamie continues on, yet H Racing Green is in. And where will Apex Whiteout be in relation to him? I don't think he's going to be able to make any inroads. So H Racing Green is out of the pits for fuel, and Apex is still coming out of the parabolic yet, so it's not going to be close enough. As Jamie clears the Mercedes of SMJT. Quick look at Speedy Racer. He is still quite a way off Apex after a couple of off-road excursions in the number 98 Porsche. And Wesley then is 9.5 ahead of Carl. He's definitely it's a bit of a masterstroke, isn't it? Not changing the tyres to save time at his pit stop. And we've got Lewis having to leave, so yeah, hopefully nothing too serious. But unfortunately, we're now a man down to just 10 runners, leaving Blue Fox as your last man, P10. Broomer P9 will take the race order in reverse then. Shane P8, Sean P7 for now, Carl P6, Wesley P5 leading the GT3, and we've got Speedy Race just cleared his Blue Fox through the Parabolica. Apex White out, that's very close. So something must have happened there, because H Racing Green is all of a sudden only just ahead of Apex Whiteout. He's going to go for the inside into the Parabolica. That's a move for P2. Completely missed how that came about, because he was quite a way off at the start of that lap when H Racing Green came out of the pits. So Apex Whiteout takes second place. How long we can keep it for, we'll soon find out, because it looks as though the Toyota is going to get a run into turn 1. Hard on the brakes. Who can get through? Apex Whiteout just keeping it for now. A little bit sideways, a little bit of lag there as well. A bit of decent possibly between the two of them. Apex Whiteout keeping it sort of in the middle of the track at the moment, not giving H Racing Green any easy way through, but he's gone over there, and he's gone well over, and he's been reset. So yeah, the game's resetting as he can get back up and running. Yeah, that's cost him a lot of time. It's cost him 4 seconds to Apex Whiteout. Jamie is yet to pit. He surely must be in this time around. He is indeed. Obviously, tyres coming off the lead Toyota. Only 3% fuel left, so he's going to take on quite a bit, I imagine, to fill it up. Just under 57 minutes remaining in the session. Plus, of course, whatever time it takes to complete the next lap after that. Jamie comes out. He's just been unlapped, I believe, by Speedy Racer. Apex Whiteout then is again, yeah, straight behind him. So that's about where H Racing Green was, and yet somehow they ended the lap absolutely nose to tail. Wesley still in P5, 11.7 clear now of Short. Wesley's really, look at this, they've got Speedy Racer trying to get through, but Short and Jamie's trying to get through as well, so we've got an LMP1 car being lapped, and then both of them trying to get through past two battling GT cars. Short maintains his line, Speedy Racer not coming through though. Short will try and pin himself to the back of Jamie to get a run at Kyle, but he can't do that. Speedy Racer just sneaking through on the opposite side. Kyle having to be very aware of where the two cars were there. One came right, one came left. But yeah, good job keeping everything nice and clean between the two classes. As Short then he drops 8/10 behind at the minute, so he's a little bit off. As Shane's actually, I think, starting to close the gap, 5.8 now between himself and Short. Broomer's right on the back actually, just half a second between those two now. And Blue Fox a little bit further behind. And yeah, Brewer's going to be a little bit of a tow, quite a big tow actually, as we come across the line. 6/10. He's dropping all the time. It's 5/10, 4/10 now. He's not quite going to be close enough to make a move. As Apex Whiteout we see there coming through on the inside, and SMJT will just about give him enough space to get through, and I think that actually cost Bruno more because it came across him on the inside of turn 1. H Racing Green is trying to come through as well. He should be able to get him into the Roger. Just about. They're catching Bremer at awkward times for him, really costing him a lot of time, having to get off the apex and then again get Shane on the exit. So costs Bremer just over a second between those two LMP1 cars coming past him, and Kyle's behind short again. What on earth is happening here? Apex Whiteout goes through. Short is P6, Kyle is P7. And there's not a lot of space out there. He's going to be on the grass, he's going to be sideways. Not sure. Oh, and we get who was that? That's H Racing Green coming through the prototype, putting another lap on them, but not sure who really was at fault there. It was very tight. Kyle sticking his nose up the outside, but that puts Shane just 2.2 off him now. So other than Wesley's in again. Are these guys going to be in as well? Sure, I think. Yeah, they're all going to be in again. Is Wesley going to put some tyres on it this time? Soon see as he pulls away. Yeah, new soft tyres, that's interesting. Full tank of fuel. So soft tyres on Wesley's. Shane's continued on, as has Bremer. As they fight each other. Bremer actually making a position, isn't it? Yeah. Bremer's got ahead of Shane somewhere around there. And so he leads the GTs at the moment. Wesley's got on new softs. Blue Fox is on old softs, having not pitted. Short on new super softs. And Kyle on new softs. So yeah, there's a lot of different strategies in the GT world at the moment. And the closest battle is Bremer 5th, Shane 6th. Neither of which have pitted yet. They're both very low on fuel, I believe. Shane's actually got quite a bit more fuel. Bremer's going to have to be in this time. Shane, I think, can do a lap long, maybe 2 laps longer actually. And we'll just back out a second and it'll be long. As yet we see Bremer in then. Apologies for that. And yeah, Shane continues on through. Where's Bremer going to be in relation to Wesley? He's going to be behind him, as we'd expect. Wesley was the leading GT car, of course, for quite a while. As Short tries to put a move on Blue Fox, who's yet to pit, and gets it done. Doesn't get it done. Blue Fox comes back through. Short will want to get this done as quickly as possible, so he's not losing time to the likes of Shane, who have continued on. I think this sort of extended strategy could really help the Mercedes later in this race. He's just extending each stint little by little. Now he's ahead of Wesley at the moment. Obviously he'll have to pit. Whereas he's still got a little bit of fuel in. I think he'll do another lap. 6 seconds clear of Wesley as we speak, and Apex Whiteout and H Racing Green are covered by 2.7 at the minute. Jamie is now 15 seconds clear up the front, so he's having a very good race for him. SMJT pits, so yeah, 8% fuel left, he does pit. I believe burns one more load event this time. So Kyle's dropped back behind Bremer somehow, because Bremer didn't change tyres, taking a leaf out of his teammate Wesley's bolt there. As Blue Fox comes in for fuel and tyres, I believe. On board, we'll enjoy a lap on board a GT3 Nissan GTR with GR Bremer. And Bremer then comes across to complete the lap. That's a lap on board with the GTR driver. And again, we've got prototype machinery coming through already. Jamie making another lap. So Shane now is only half a second, off the back of Kyle. So he's just about clawing himself back into contention with these guys. Looking like possibly making a move pretty soon. Kyle gets a little bit out of shape through the chicane there. And Shane looking up the inside of the Lesmos. It's going to get tight there, but he's forced Kyle possibly a little bit wide. Kyle, right up to the edge of the gravel there. And yeah, the Mercedes driver definitely backing the race. He's having to go wheel to wheel for probably the first time in this race that he's actually seen another car. Looking towards the outside, there's not a lot of room down there. He's going to try and line him up as best he can. The number 30 trying to make inroads into the likes of Wesley, Short and Bremer up front. His first job, of course, is to get past LK Kyle, which hasn't been the easiest thing to do so far this evening. We've seen Short take several laps to get clear, and blue flags again. We've got is that Apex Whiteout coming through? It is. So we've got Shane in the tow of Kyle, but Apex Whiteout is going to take the pair of them, and Shane's trying to make the move through, following him at the same time. Kyle late on the brakes, very late on the brakes. Is he too late? Not quite, just about gets it stopped. That's going to compromise his exit slightly as H Racing Green comes through as well. So I just dropped my controller, that went well. Apologies. And Shane then ran on the outside, little bit of contact. It's awkward as he was ghosting there. Get rid of the penalty. Penalty system not fantastic in lobby racing on GT. With the ghosting through certain corners, it could be better. A little bit wide there from Shane. Just compromised his run out there. We'll just take a look at what's happening up the front. Jamie is 16.8 clear, Apex Whiteout is still 1.9 clear of H Racing Green. Speedy Racer still in a race of his own at the moment, unfortunately, in P4. Pretty lonely race for him, as we are just about half distance actually. Yeah. And he comes up inside of that Shane and Kyle again, isn't it? Wesley starting another lap with 26 laps in for the prototypes. Not entirely sure how many laps are in. I don't think I can get individual information, can I? He's 4 laps down to 22 I think he's on. He's Wesley then. And at the moment 14.2 clear, so he's having as lonely a stint as Jamie in the LMP1. The number 99 Nissan is definitely clear of the chasing GT pack. He's got Apex Whiteout and H Racing Green coming through. Yeah, sticks to his line. Apex Whiteout makes the move nice and clean. I think H Racing Green will come through before the second Osmo, will he? No, he's going to have to sit behind him and take him on the exit. Yep, again, keeping things nice and tidy. Short's got a little bit of a penalty, but LK Kyle's dropped 5 seconds down behind, so yeah, Short all by himself a little bit as well. SMJT is 3.4 clear of Maruma. Blue Fox still down the back, he's 21 seconds off, but anything can still happen. As we say, only just over half distance in this race, 42 minutes remaining. And we'll go on board with SMJT as he tries to close the gap to LK Kyle. We'll just take a look at the relative fuel loads. Shane's got just under 3/4 of a tank, but he's on super softs as he runs a little bit wide. Kyle just under half a tank, he's on the softs, so a little bit of a differing strategy between those two. Just 8/10 now between H Racing Green and Apex Whiteout. These two 17 seconds off of Jamie out the front, but definitely quite a race on for second place here. They've switched a few times between each other as Apex Whiteout gets rid of that penalty. H Racing Green running a little bit wide, just about keeping it on the track, and still within a second of Apex Whiteout. Then I don't think he's going to be close enough on this lap. Take a look at the fuel loads relative to each other here as well, as he runs very wide. He's going to have to get that tucked back in before the sausage curve. He does. Sort of a third of a tank in towards that. What's under a quarter of a tank then for Apex Whiteout, sorry. And I've just realised that they're on lap 32, so the lap counter on Wesley is actually a true lap counter for him, not the race. So he is on lap 27, starting lap 28. 14 seconds clear still of Short, as we've said. And Bruno is assuming back into the pits. No, he's some way short of Shane now, almost 12 seconds. 1.1 the gap now, as again. DB, excuse me. Shane again having to give way to faster cars. That is that Speedy Racer coming up behind, it is. So the sole Porsche then is looking to make his way past this pair of GT cars again. Shane, oh, it's contact! And that's the first multi-class issue we've seen. Shane's in the wall with front left damage. Oh, and he can't get back on the track either. That's a real issue. I think Bruma's going to be coming along any minute now. No! Bruma's having his own troubles. I have no idea what's happened here. What on earth is going on? Blue Fox and Bruma seem to have been magnetised together. Shane's had an issue with the LMP1, so that leaves Kyle free now in P7, Short in P6, and yeah, so the GT3 cars are pretty isolated from each other now, with just under 40 minutes remaining. So I think the closest battle now is these two. It's in the LMP1s for second and third. But, so I just knocked the microphone there, so sorry for that. Yeah, H Racing Green sticking to just about a second behind Apex Whiteout. We'll look back from Apex on for Ascari. Ball very wide, taking a lot of entry curb, flipped him out towards the outside. But, as you can see, H Racing Green is very much in the slipstream. Those bright headlights letting him know he's there. Just 3/10 behind as well, so yeah, definitely closer this time around. And again, H Racing Green running a little bit wide on the exit. 4/10. That's Apex pits then. Apex is into pits for another set of tyres and fuel. And the Speedy Racer who's gone around there. Where's that? That's on the exit of the Roger chicane. Apex, look at that, 1% fuel. That's pushing the tank to the limit. Wesley, all things still nice and calm for him in P5. Short P6. As Apex puts the soft tail onto this stint. Shane recovering in P8. Bruma after that other team. Now down to P9. Oh, still P9, but 9 seconds behind Shane, and that's 9 seconds behind Shane, who we saw having his own problem. So he is now as yeah, he's about 36 seconds off of Carl now. So fortunately for Bruma, it's not been a clean pre-season race. I suppose the only consolation is there are no points on offer for this event. So we've got a turnout of 11 and 12 in qualifying. So yeah, not bad. We'll possibly be missing a couple that we'll get for the start of the season next week, giving us a grid of 14. And yeah, Wesley through the Roger chicane for the 30th time. Jamie is on his 35th lap for the prototypes. H Racing Green is yet to make another stop. Apex, as a result, is 27 seconds behind him. There's not too many cars that are too close to each other at the moment. But, definitely a couple of strategies to play out. I'll tell you what, we'll enjoy a lap on board then with your leader, ILRT Jamie, 15 seconds clear of the rest of the pack. And as we come out of the final corner then, Jamie completes his 36th lap. Still 14 seconds clear then of H Racing Green, who is again getting towards the end of his tank, but not ready for a pit stop just yet. Continues on for another lap. Wesley is still in P5, he's 18.6 clear now of short. I think the closest possible fight for GT honours will be between Short, Kyle and Shane, possibly, for what would be second, third and fourth in GT. Again, Kyle with, who's that? That's Apex Whiteout winning a lap on him. Kyle just goes in there again. Just getting rid of a penalty. And a little bit of damage to the rear bumper of GR Bruma's Nissan then. As he continues on around. Just hitting the limiter there. You could hear the as we'll go into a bit of chase cam, everyone's favourite unrealistic camera. But plenty of noise coming from that Nissan, if nothing else. Yeah, as you can see, it's taken a bit of a battering to that rear end. He's been through the wars, has Bruma in this race. And is there any news in LMP1? Not a lot. Still 14 seconds between first and second, 34 seconds now between second and third, and Speedy Racer is still a lap down, so in a race of his own, as is Wesley really. He's not, since that first stop where he got out of the pack by not changing tyres, he's not seen any competition really. Just over half an hour remaining. That Nissan working very well for him at the moment. Those soft tyres looking good. He's got 3/4 of a tank of fuel, so he doesn't have to pit for quite a while yet. And yeah, it's all going pretty serenely for him at the moment. Don't want to put any commentator's curse on him, but it's definitely looking good. And Short getting a little bit sideways as he comes through the rotary chicane. We'll take a look on board with this Supra then, because this is a nice car when it's all hooked up. He's on new Super Softs actually, so he's been in not too long ago. H Racing Green's been in the pits, I think. Yeah, just been in for new softs and getting a little bit sideways through Ascari, but continues on his way. So yeah, he's now 40 seconds off Jamie, who I think is yet to pit again, but he's been stretching each stint really, so he might end up having to do one less pit stop compared to the others. He's just got past Bremer for another time, lap 40 now for him. Wesley still 17.6 clear, and yeah, all very nice for the number 99 Nissan. SMJT has recently been in for another stop. Yeah, full tank of fuel in that, so he's been in. He's 16.8 behind Bremer. He's just ahead of Blue Fox at the moment, who's I think is a pit stop out of sequence. Is about to have another lap put on. I believe that's ILRT Jamie. It is indeed. Fastest lap so far is Jamie on a 1:31.953, as you can see on the left hand side. So yeah, he's definitely been the quickest today, hasn't he? Didn't get off to the best of starts. He was fourth in the prototypes at one point, but since regaining the lead he has looked pretty dominant, and now he's got to clear short in the Supra. Does so fairly easily between the two Lesmos. Nip back to Shorten, who's 5.6 clear of Kyle. I think that gap's coming down slightly. So we've still got hope of a bit of a race to the flag with 26 minutes remaining. So we hit the 25-minute remaining mark, and Bremer still P8. We've got Shane closing in on him, down to 4.8. And is that now P1? Got a speedy race here, can't quite make the move stick into turn 1, so he's going to have to wait for the exit. When he gets out of there cleanly, he should take the position through Curva Grande. They came together here earlier, so Shane's staying well out of the way this time, and continues on his way. So yeah, Jamie leading from H Racing Green still, Apex Whiteout third, Speedy Racer fourth, Wesley fifth, Short, Kyle, Bremer, Shane and Blue Fox, and we're missing, I believe, 2 runners from the original grid, which was Lewis and Risky, who had troubles getting out of the pits earlier on. And speaking of the pits, no, not speaking of the pits at all. I thought Carl was going in there, but he's just taking that short run across the line. the gaps are pretty stable at the moment. LMP1 looks almost to be decided really, with just over 22 minutes remaining. Obviously, barring any off-track incidents or anything like that, ILRT Jamie going into the pits with 0% fuel on board, so stretching those stints, and this could actually be his last stop, I believe. I think they've been making 20 minutes in the prototypes, so yeah, should, I think, be able to get to the end. What's he put on? He's put a set of softs on. Comes out still well ahead of H Racing Green. The gap will stabilise itself possibly when they come across the line. Clears Kyle as he comes across there, and yeah, it's still 22 seconds, so plenty of time in reserve for Jamie to save a bit of fuel if he needs to. Apex Whiteout coming through the Parabolica once again. Starting another lap. Not entirely sure who he's catching here. He's got a little bit of traffic up ahead of him. That is, I think it's Speedy Racer, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, he's run a little bit wide there as well. Gets away with it, but it will cost him a little bit of time. And Wesley, what's he? He's still got a quarter of a tank of fuel left, so he will be trying to stretch that. So he should only have to make one more pit stop, I believe. Let's actually just have a look through the GT3 cars. Short should get away with one more. Bruma's going to have to possibly pit for a splash and dash later on. He's going to have to pit this lap. I don't think he'll be able to put enough fuel in to get to the end. Shane can definitely get away with just one more still, as should Blue Fox. Got a bit of a penalty there as well. Who was that? Jamie just clearing him for another time. 45 laps on the board now for ILRT Jamie in the number 94. Got a couple of pit stops then, so we just join you back again. Speedy Racers in the pits, as is Kyle in the GT3. So I think he'll have to pit again. 18 minutes plus, possibly plus a lap remaining. Don't think they can get enough fuel in it. sound of that. Beautiful noise as he exits the pits. And that promotes... No, he stays 7th in the year. So... yeah, Shane and Bremer had already pitted. So no position change whatsoever there then. Still got Wesley, Short, Kyle, SMJT, Bremer and Blue Fox, your GT3 order. And your LMP1 order has been pretty settled for a number of laps now. Nip on board with Speedy Racer as he comes through the first Lesmo. He's on what, 44, so he's a few laps, a couple of laps behind at least. He's 2 laps behind as SMJT. Jamie just about keeps it on the island as Wesley's in the pits. What's he going to put on? Can he get away with a set of the supers towards the end? And can he get enough fuel in it to get there? So yeah, it is super soft and not quite a full tank of fuel, so his calculations then, he'll be able to get to the end. Doesn't even need 100%, so I'm sure he knows what he's doing. And he's got blue flags because behind him is one of the LMP ones. Who is it? No one. Ah, Speedy Racer. Speedy Racer coming through Curve Grande into the Roger chicane. The number 98 Porsche hopping over the curbs for the 45th time, and he will, I believe, get past Wesley before the second Lesmo. Yeah, and there's 4 laps between those two cars. Wesley on lap 41, so quite a distance in the GT3. These guys, I think, are used to a 40-minute race, so probably be about 23 laps maybe around here, maybe a few more, can't remember, but yeah, definitely a longer race than most are accustomed to. But we're getting towards the end of it now, just 15 minutes remaining, plus a little bit, and yeah, position's pretty settled, but as we've seen, even when they're pretty spread out, you can't rule out any sort of incident with the prototypes coming through. Hopefully not, because they're not racing each other, of course, for position. And Short coming around to complete another lap then in that blue, white and red Toyota Supra. Can't go wrong with a Toyota. Beautiful cars. You'd also, of course, want an Igo, not a C1, sure. But yeah, he continues on to his 42nd lap. 3 seconds now is just the gap, so between himself and Carl. So Carl has brought that down a little bit. Short's got a little bit more fuel in and soft tyres. So it'd be interesting to see how that plays out with who's got the best strategy towards the end. Don't think it's all over just yet in GT3. I think fairly confidently say that we know the order of the prototypes, barring any disasters. And yeah, again, barring any disaster, we should be seeing Wesley going home to take victory in GT3. Of course, no points on offer, but nice confidence boost going into the season opener next week. Jamie putting another lap on him down into the Parabolica. Wesley, no risk taken, of course, at this stage. Could afford to lose a second lap and he'd still take the GT3 victory. So keeping everything nicely under control, keeping the tyres and fuel where he wants them. That Nissan's look beautiful today, really, and we've got a yellow flag down at turn 1, I believe it was. Entirely sure who or what that was for, but it's clear now anyway, so maybe just someone skipping across the chicane. And SMJT then is starting another lap. 20 seconds clear now of GR Brim, who's got a little bit of a penalty. Blue Fox wheeling those tyres through the Ascari, taking a little bit of curb and grass for good measure. So SMJT, I think, is a little bit too far behind Kyle to he's going to pit again. Yes. I'm not sure if Kyle has. Short, I'm pretty certain hasn't. And I don't think Wesley will either. Maybe wrong. I don't know what sort of fuel usage per lap is in the GT3s. I'm pretty sure they weren't getting that far really in the race, but maybe as the race goes on they're getting a little bit better with their calculations. Jamie into the first corner, he's about to put another lap on Speedy Racer. 51 laps now on the board for ILRT Jamie. Wesley with those ever glowing brake discs. Going through the Curva Grande for the 44th time. Still maintaining that 15-second gap over Short. And he's got blue flags. That's H Racing Green coming up behind him. Kicking up a little bit of dirt. He's definitely still pushing it right to the edge of the track, not leaving too much on the table. As H Racing Green goes to the inside and takes the position nice and cleanly. And Wesley continues on his way. The gap between Short and Kyle has come down quite a bit now. Can't entirely remember the situation on fuel. So he's got less fuel and super softs compared to Short's softs. We're assuming both can go to the end without any sort of major fuel saving. So what can Kyle manage? 2.5 seconds. He is definitely closing that gap. But if Short's struggling, or if it's just because of the fuel and tyre offset, but he definitely needs to pick up the pace if he's going to maintain that P2 in the GT3. As you can see, getting ever closer, and he's got a couple of tenths of penalty as well, as you just see him go through turn 1. Shane's in then. So this is definitely his last stop. I think he'll put on a set of the super softs. A bit thin on some of the paint in various areas of that Mercedes. Yeah, super softs on, and just under half a tank of fuel, getting through the remaining 9 or 10 minutes. And he's immediately got blue flags because I think that's Apex Whiteout behind him, and Bruma is on fuel and tyres getting to the end of the race, and he's not that far behind either, 5 seconds behind. And we're on board with Short. as he's going to try, yeah, gets rid of the penalty into the Ascari, and you can see Kyle's maintaining that gap at under 2.5 seconds. It's 2.3 now, going down every lap almost. 2.2. He'll just about start to be getting a decent toe. If you can get under sort of 2 seconds, he'll start to take a couple of tenths out of him per straight if you can get there. Yeah, 2.1 short, just stretching the legs of that Toyota towards the end of the main straight. Getting on the brakes. Not too much curb, trying to get cleanly on the throttle. He's not worried about fuel usage at the minute, is he? He's going right up to the red line to try and eke out any bit of gap he can to LK Kyle, because it's now down to around 2 seconds. It's fluctuating a bit, but it was 2.5 a couple of laps ago. It's under 2 seconds now. 1.9 is the gap. We'll just take a bit of a look elsewhere. We've got ILRT Jamie, who should be able to go to the end. Same for H Race. Excuse me, H Racing Green. Apex Whiteout will be pretty tight on fuel by the end, I think, but should be able to get there. Speedy Race is going to have to pit again, so probably pit this lap actually. It's almost out of fuel on that one. Tries to get past SMJT into the Ascari chicane, and just about makes it stick. Yeah, Wesley will get to the end. Short, yeah, Kyle, yes, Shane should do, Brumer should do, and Blue Fox is a little thin on the left front, but should be able to get to the end on those. Back to the battle for P2 and 3 in the GTs, and you can see Short up the road. Look, we're getting pretty close. 1.8 now the gap. And blue flags for the cars approaching. So I've got Apex Whiteout approaching once again. 1.5 now the gap. Short's really starting to struggle, and Kyle is now definitely within slipstream range. Hopefully doesn't get cost too much time by Apex trying to put a lap on him. Stays in the middle of the track. He's trying to get a toe off the prototype. That's the sort of lengths he's going to try and close in on Short at the moment. But Short, I think, will get away with this one quite nicely. Yeah, Apex pulls to the left on the exit of the Ascari. Short now trying to take that toe. Apex having none of it. It shouldn't really be breaking the toe like that, I don't think. They should be acting as if the GTs aren't there, but it's giving Kyle a little bit of a helping hand by breaking the toe to Short. But it's down to 1.2 then as they come across the line, and this is now a very definite slipstream situation, and they've got ILRT Jamie coming up behind. We're going to go off board for this one because it could end up getting pretty tight down to turn 1. Jamie at this stage is just obviously trying to stay out of trouble with 3 minutes remaining. He's got this sewn up if he doesn't do anything silly, and he gets past Kyle on the exit, gets past Short through the Curva Grande yet, but it's under a second now, just about. I think it will be by the end of the straight. Bang on a second. As they come through the rush chicane for the 48th time. Very, very crossed up there for Kyle, but he's got away with it. doing absolutely everything to try and get onto the back of Short, and he's very much there now. Quarter of a tank of fuel left, fuel should be no problem. Likewise for Short, but Short's struggling a little bit with the left front. It's not quite as balanced on the wear as the rest of the tyres. And Kyle now, half a second is all that the gap is. ILRT Jamie, H Racing Green, Apex Whiteout and Speedy Racer still pretty strung out. Speedy Racer's gone off the track at the second Lesmo again. Wesley's got a bit of a penalty and he's in the pits actually. Wesley's in the pits. Obviously felt he needed a bit of splash and dash. Where's he going to be in relation to these two? He's just about ahead. There's not a lot of gap between these two. Look at this, Short now having to go very defensive. The gap's only a couple of tenths. It's coming down to the last couple of minutes for the final podium positions in GT3. Short didn't feel the need to go entirely defensive. Oh, was that moving in the braking zone? It's pretty tight. Both giving absolutely no quarter. In the final couple of minutes, of course, we're approaching the end of this pre-season event. 1.5 hour race we've had around this Monza circuit, and it's all coming down to the last laps. Just over a minute remaining. Kyle's got a little bit of a penalty from the Roger chicane, just dropping a little bit behind Short as a result. So it's back to 7 tenths. Short can just possibly have a little bit of a breather, but every straight he's punching a massive hole in the air for Kyle to draw himself up into. Just a quick check on what's happening further back. Bremer, he's only 2 seconds behind Shane now, who not sure on the... Oh, Shane's struggling massively with fuel. Shane's having to fuel save. He's got a little bit less than Bremer, and 1.3 seconds is all that the gap is. He's got 34 seconds remaining, so this will be his last lap, but can he get there? ILRT Jamie starts what will be his final lap as well. H Racing Green will get round again. Apex Whiteout, yeah, he started his last lap. Speedy Racer should just about get there. Wesley has started a lap, as has Short, as has Kyle. Bremer's cleared Shane. Shane's really struggling. Oh, he's got damage. Shane's had damage. What's happened? Did he drop it on the exit? Just missed that, unfortunately. I think he dropped it on the exit of Lesmo 2 all by himself. We'll go back live as we try and pick up who's finishing the race. Speedy Race is finished, and where is Short and Kyle? They are... I think Kyle's struggling for fuel now. Yeah, Kyle's struggling for fuel, so that's called that battle off. Bremer should come across the line to finish P8. So P8 overall, P4 in the GT class. Shane, I think, will finish P9 if he could get to the end. But ILRT Jamie, he's been peerless since he hit the front. 31 second lead coming around the final corner for the 58th and final time. The number 94 Toyota takes the win here at this pre-season Monza race. H Racing Green will, that's an unfortunate text that takes some reading, but Apex Whiteout takes 3rd place, which means H Racing Green will be confirmed in 2nd. Wesley coming through the final corner will take GT3 honours. 50 laps he managed in that Nissan. He's coming across the line. He's got H Racing Green right behind him. But he crosses the line to win GT3. And Short, I think, with Kyle struggling for fuel, will come across the line in 6th, 2nd in GT3. He's pretty happy with that after a very long race. Kyle will take P7 and the final GT podium. Bremer P8. Shane, yeah, out of fuel in the end, I think. And Blue Fox, is it? Yeah, Blue Fox taking the final position. So well done to ILRT Jamie. Had to work for that one after the first lap. But yeah, overall, I think a decent pre-season, good outing for most of the drivers. We should see a couple extras next week. Well done to your class winners and everyone really for managing to get through that with minimal incidents. And yeah, thanks for joining us on the stream. We will see you the same time next week for round 1, and there'll be points on offer, so yeah, don't miss that. And yeah, thanks again, and goodbye.